In this video, we're going to show you how you can produce very simple but effective Gantt charts without the use of Microsoft Project, like you see here, using only Microsoft PowerPoint. It's easier than you think. So after opening a blank presentation, the first thing you're going to want to do is click on the Insert tab and then select Chart. And you can see you're presented with a whole bunch of options. You want bar chart because these resemble Gantt chart bars rather nicely. And then out of the options here, select Stacked Bar and then go OK. Now, once that's loaded in, you'll be presented here with some data that you can put together. On the left-hand side, place your tasks, and Series 1 will be our start dates, Series 2 will be our finish dates, and Series 3 will be our duration. And these will correspond to the various colours that you can see on the Gantt chart, bar chart, like so. So I'm going to go and fill those in right now. Okay, I've placed my dates. Now duration will simply be finish date subtracted by the start date. So I'll go and place those in now. Once you've done the first one, you can simply select override all cells in this column within this formula, and that makes it a lot easier. Now, we've got the formation here of our Gantt chart, but you'll notice here that it's not really showing us too much. That's because you'll notice that our green data that was formerly on that Gantt chart is largely hidden. That's because it's overpowered by these larger numbers in the blue and yellow. I'll demonstrate. If I zoom in, you can see that these little green slivers are indicative of our task duration, which is what we really want to see on our Gantt chart. So to do that, select Chart Filter and remove Finish Dates and go Apply. And here you can see it's starting to form a little bit more of what we're after. Now, the other thing you'll notice here is that our tasks are shown in reverse order. It should be summary task at the top, and then task 1, 2, 3, 4 down the vertical or y-axis. So to do that, select the y-axis, right-click and go Format Axis, and then you'll be presented with this option here, Categories in Reverse Order. Select that, and that places it in the right order. Now, another thing you'll notice too is that our Gantt chart is showing dates before the actual start of the project. So we're seeing dates back in 2025, when really our start date for the project is the 5th of March 2026. Now to fix this, select the horizontal axis and then notice under the minimum box here, it's showing the minimum as 45,900. Now, to compare, if we convert these dates into numerals by right-clicking, selecting Format Cells, and then selecting the General option, you'll see that our numerical start date is really 46086. So if we change that then to 46086, and then click Enter, it takes it back to the start date on our bar chart Gantt chart. So that's important to keep in mind. Now, there's a lot of blue bars here which aren't really adding to the Gantt chart itself. Now we can remove those by some rather creative formatting. So simply click once anywhere on one of those blue bars and then right click, and then you can select Fill as No Fill, and you can select Outline as No Outline, and that will remove those bars and make the Gantt chart a lot clearer. Now, you'll notice that we still have our horizontal axis as numeral format. We can just quickly change that in our data box by right-clicking and returning those to date formatted cells. And we can also do a few little things to make it a little more pleasing to the eye. We can expand out our table. We can add a chart title, so we might just call this Special Project. And before we close, it's worth noting that if you do need to add new tasks, you can do that in the spreadsheet box. Simply insert a new row like you normally would in Excel, put a new task, and For simplicity, we'll just carry over some of this data, carry that down, and you can see there is a new task. So you can see it's an easy way to add new tasks. Now you can make individual tasks stand out as well. Simply click on the bars and then click again on the bars, and that'll isolate a particular bar that you might want to stand out. And simply right click, choose fill, and you can see that nicely puts that in place to make that particular task stand out. So by applying this method, you can show onlookers that you can produce Gantt charts very easily without the use of Microsoft Project, and you'll demonstrate that you really are in control as a project manager and/or scheduler. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, and please let me know if you have subscribed. I'd love to keep the conversation going.